Another episode. Don't know which one.
It's been a lot, so I would say maybe this is the 10th episode.
Okay.
It's been a while since we shot, and the market has changed a lot for the better.
Especially over the last 2 weeks.
Yes, over the last 2 weeks, we've seen like a nice change to the market. So we wanted to discuss about the current market situation. How is that gonna like benefit both buyers and sellers in this?
And for context, for people that are watching this, we are right now in real time at the point where rates were 7.5 2 weeks ago. They're around 6.6. Let's just say 6.5 right now.
Right.
So they've gone down 1% over the course of the last 2 weeks. This would mean somebody's buying power, if they are approved up to 650,000, are probably approved now closer to like 710 to 725.
Right.
So pretty significant. That means a lot more buyers have entered the playing field, right? If somebody was approved at 500, but they really, really want that $575,000 house, well, now they can have
right,
that.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we've discussed this in the previous episode. I don't know which one, but the statistics show that every time rates get better by at least 0.5%, 1.4 million buyers get on the market.
Yeah.
So which create a competition for buyers on the market, but that is not something that could stop someone from buying a house. So these are still happening. Opportunities are still there.
Yeah.
Buyers are still getting under contract. We are still negotiating sellers' credits. And the best thing is, with lower rates, now comes lower monthly payments also for many people to actually be able to afford the house they want.
And at some point, that's going to go away, right? The seller credit. The monthly payment's going to be lower because rates are going to be lower. But eventually, the sellers are going to have the ball in their court.
Right.
And the buyers aren't going to be able to get all those seller incentives. So right now is kind of a sweet spot, right? It's like rates have gone down a bit, so affordability is a little bit better, but house prices haven't skyrocketed, and sellers don't know that they kind of call the shots, or that buyers would call the shots now.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna come faster than we can expect it, because sellers, they also watch the market, just like buyers do, right? So they are watching the market, they are actually seeing the trend. So we are basically trending down when it comes to interest rates, and but I mean, as you said, we are close to entering the sellers market.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they can call the shots, it gets more difficult for buyers, but the lack of knowledge is buyers think it's easier when rates are lower. When rates are lower, it is a frenzy, right? There's a lot of different offers on the same property, so you're escalating, you're not getting your seller credits and whatnot. So I think right now is a super, super cool time, or a good time to act, because you can still get in at that price point you want with a slightly lower monthly payment than what you would have had a couple weeks ago. Can still get those incentives from the seller with credits buying on your interest rate or closing costs or whatever.
Definitely. So I mean, for all the buyers being on the fence since like beginning of the year, so now is like I wouldn't say the perfect time, but it is a great time for them to buy, because 6.5% interest rates. Let's assume we can negotiate like the maximum on an FHA loan for seller's credit, which is 6% on the purchase price. And with those 6%, if you do it 2-1 buy down, now you are looking at 4.5% interest rates
for your first year.
For your first year, like, which is gonna like decrease your monthly payments by a lot.
Yeah, and you ask buyers on initial consultation, what do rates need to get to for you to buy a house? And they're like, well, I'd really like to see something in the 4s or 5s. It's like, okay, we can do that today. So why not get in the house today and get the rate you want today?
Definitely.
And then you can refinance down the road when that rate ends up going up after the year or two.
Right.
Or even if not, in 6 months, if rates are better, we can refinance. We can always refinance after 6 months over and over and over again. A lot of people think they need to time the market with a refinance. You don't. So if you get in at 6.5 and rates go to 5.5 in 6 months, refinance. If they go to 4 in 6 months after that, we can refinance again. If they go to 2, we can do it again.
Yeah. So. And another cool thing is, with higher rates, we've seen less and less inventory on the market, right? So now that rates are going trending down, now sellers, they feel more confident that they can actually list the properties and sell the properties. So not only we are going to see increase in the buyers numbers, but we are also going to see an increase on the listings, which gives buyers like more opportunities. Like if you are looking to buy a house in whatever city that is, and you couldn't find the perfect house, just be confident that in the next few weeks or few months, we are going to see more and more and more listings to give buyers opportunity to get actually their dream houses.
Well, we had buyers that wanted to buy in Fife, and you were telling me at the time when rates were 7.5%, 8%, that there was a new listing in Fife, Washington, once a month, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Fife is a tough market.
Sure.
Like most of the time, I've never seen more than 5 listings in Fife at one time.
Right. But as rates start going down and sellers feel a little bit more comfortable that they can get the price that they want and that they themselves can go buy a house and have an interest rate that's manageable versus not keeping their 3% rate that they have on their current house.
Definitely.
There will be more on the market. So yeah, I think now is an awesome time.
Yeah. So this market gives it's positive for both sides. It's positive for buyers because now they have lower rates, which is going to drive the monthly payments like really low. And then, 2, they will have more inventory on the market because now more and more and more sellers are willing to list the properties. And on the seller side, it's positive because as rates keep on going down, the numbers of buyers are keep on increasing.
Yep.
Like week after week. So now it's much easier for them to list their properties and
get offers, escalations in prices. So let's say you're a new agent or maybe even an agent that's been doing it for a while. You're seeing rates go down. What plan of action do you need to take advantage of this? Let's say you have some clients that have been on the sideline, or maybe you don't have any clients at all. Like, what would your steps be? Or I guess maybe a better question is, what are you doing now that rates are a bit lower to make sure your clients can capitalize?
I mean, it's just about driving conversation with buyers. Mm-hmm. I mean, my buyers, let's say, to show them the numbers, because at the end of the day, they want to see the numbers, right?
For sure.
When rates were at 7%, we could still give them 4% interest rates, but they were kind of a defense because they are always watching the news, they are always listening to the uncle-in-law, they are always talking to a bunch of people. But now I am going to be showing them numbers not only on the buyer side, but also on the seller side, mm-hmm. right? Which means as we keep on trending down, we are going to see more and more competition on the market, right? So as rates are going down, we can, number one, get you exactly what you want, which is the monthly payment that's going to make you comfortable. And we still have time to get in and get you seller's credit, which is going to cover for your closing costs and all of that. And on top of that, the more listings we have, you have now more opportunities to get exactly the house you are looking for. So just driving the conversation, which is data driven, instead of just giving them plain stats and stuff.
I feel like a lot of agents might show clients houses, but that client can't associate that house with a monthly payment. And at the end of the day, monthly payment's the most important thing.
It is.
That's what's coming out of a client's pockets every single month, right?
Yeah.
So I think as an agent, making sure to work with your lender so that they understand this house equals this monthly payment, this house equals this monthly payment.
Yeah.
It helps them better come to a decision on what they want to do. So I know with you all your clients get fully pre-approved prior to going and looking at houses.
The reason being is I always like to do things backwards, not only in real estate, even in real life, because I just feel like it's much easier to connect the dots going backwards.
Yeah.
Meaning, when I'm talking to my buyers, I always ask them the question to know, okay, let's assume in the perfect world, we get to a point where we get to the house and then you have to move in. What is the monthly payment that will make you feel comfortable? Give me a range. Then that would be like, okay, if it's between 35 to 4,000, then we can do it. Then I'm going to come to you and say, hey, these clients are looking to buy a house, but they are only comfortable within this range.
Yep.
So now you can go backwards and tell me, okay, for $4,000, your maximum is $550. Assuming we have this rate and assuming the cash to close is this much, right? And then we can play with that. Then I can go back to the buyers, then discuss the numbers and then see if they are comfortable with those numbers or if they are also comfortable to go a little bit higher to get something much better.
Yeah, or different strategies, right? You know, we're talking about implementing the 2-1 buy downs or doing a permanent buy down with a temporary buy down to be able to get the monthly where they want and still getting all of that covered by the seller, including the closing costs, so that their cash to close is where they want. It's all about having communication between the team to be able to make it happen.
The discussion about the numbers, they have to take place before you can't even go out there and find for houses. I've seen a lot of agents who are going to show houses, get the buyers under contract just for the buyer to find out, hey, I'm not able to afford this, right? Yeah. Just because on paper they are kind of qualified to get approved for this house doesn't necessarily mean they are able to make those monthly payments.
Qualification doesn't take into account comfortability. Right. And I think there's a gap usually between a comfortable monthly payment and what somebody's qualified for. Right. I have friends that are qualified for an $8,000 monthly payment. I'm pretty sure no one wants an $8,000 monthly payment on their mortgage right now, right? So, we talk about what they're comfortable with and then what house would be associated with that payment as far as purchase price goes, and then we kind of close the gap from there.
Yeah, definitely. So have the discussion up front, discuss the numbers with your clients, and make sure everybody's on the same page.
For sure.
Your clients, the lender, and yourself.
And also, as an agent, don't waste your time showing a house without your clients being qualified, right? If they're not qualified, if they're not pre-approved, don't show the house, because it's a waste of everybody's time.
Most agents, they are kind of afraid. They are not really confident that, okay, I can not dictate, but I can lay down my expectations to the clients, right? They're like, oh, this client want to see houses. If I don't show them, they may go look for a different person. If that is the case, then let it be, right?
Right.
But as an agent, when you meet up with the clients, you have to walk them through their own buying process.
Through your process, right. Your process as the professional.
Right. So showing houses always comes after getting pre-approved.
Because if you show somebody a $700,000 house and then it turns out that they're pre-approved for $600,000 and then you start showing them $600,000, you made your job really freaking hard,
right?
Because they're gonna see that $600,000 house and wish it had all the $700,000 house things, and you're never gonna find them anything that they like.
Yeah, and I always tell my buyers, okay, do not waste your time looking at houses until you know exactly your buying power,
right?
Because the last thing you want is like you said, to go look at those 800, 900,000 houses, which have like a huge backyard. You have a bedroom downstairs, and
you get false expectations,
right? And then you have like a big loft upstairs, just for them to be approved for like 500,000 to only get 3 bedrooms.
Which is not to say you can't have that house in the future. It's all about starting out, getting into a house, building equity, selling that house or turning it into a rental, rolling over some of the funds, buying a new house. It's all about like stepping up. I think a lot of first-time home buyers think that they're going to get their dream house right away. And in Washington in particular, and where rates are at in particular, it's just that's not necessarily the case, but that doesn't mean there's a path.
It's really hard. It's really hard because like back in the days, people could get qualified for the houses using only one income.
Yep.
Right now, it's more and more difficult for people to get qualified using only one income, which means your starter home will most likely not be your dream house.
Right.
Like you said, leverage your equity from this house. For the first one, turn it into rental property after 12 months or more. Use cash flow from the rental property and your equity now to get qualified for a better house. You can do the process over and over again for like 3, 4, 5 years. You stock up a few properties, then now your cash flow could be enough to cover at least 50% of the mortgage on the dream house. Now we're talking.
Yeah. And then you're free, right?
Yeah.
You can start cash flowing more than you're making at work, and you can tell yourself, well, shoot, what am I doing working now?
Yeah, definitely. So to summarize this discussion, interest rates are going super low. They are trending down. Yeah, lower. They are going really lower. Trending down, giving buyers a lot of opportunities to get qualified for more money to buy the house, and also a chance to get lower monthly payments, but also that gives sellers the opportunity to list more properties in the market, and have the confidence to actually sell it.
Yeah, and last big takeaway, just because rates are getting lower right now doesn't mean they're going to continue to get lower. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know for sure.
This is also something I always tell the buyers, right? When they ask me, hey, what do you think interest will be tomorrow or in few weeks? I say, okay. My response has always been the same. The only thing we can control is what in front of us today. Right? You get into the house. If interest rates go high, you win. Right? You get into the house. If interest rates stay the same, you still win.
Yeah.
You get into the house. If interest rates go down, you refinance the house.
You win.
You still win. So the only thing you can control is what's happening now. Tomorrow, the next day, we cannot control it. God knows what's going to happen. So you do what you can do now then whatever happens in the future, you have the control in your hands.
Yeah, at least start the conversation.
Right.
I think that's our job, to follow up with past clients that didn't get into a house, have the conversation with them now that rates are a little bit lower, inform them on basically exactly what we're talking about. But also, as a potential buyer or just client, go talk with your real estate professional. Go talk with your lender. Ask them where rates are. Ask what they're qualified for now. Ask them about the market and what they see the market doing in the near future. I think you'll get a pretty good insight on why now is probably a pretty good time to buy in most circumstances.
Definitely. And for everybody looking to get into the house, or at least to know your options, we are always free to take meetings. We are always available to talk to you, at least to discuss your real estate goals, to show you exactly your buying power, your numbers, and all the options. Then for you, when comes the time to decide on what to do. So we are going to leave our contact information down below. Call us with every real estate questions you have. We are here, more than happy to serve you.
All right. Till next time.
Yeah. See you next time. Take care.